I am the king of drivetrain problems, and today's video is no different, so let's just jump right into it. So in a previous video, I briefly mentioned how my car has had a vibration problem since the install of the Miata BMW transmission swap kit. I've been working with Miata this entire time. They've been great to work with. We've swapped over all kinds of parts and taken measurements and done R&D to try to figure out what the problem is with my car, because apparently not all the cars are affected by this problem, but unfortunately mine is one of them. Or maybe it's fortunate, because I've put an awful lot of work in to troubleshoot this issue, and I've learned a lot about driveline and all types of vibrations. There are so many moving parts and rotating parts, especially in all cars, that any one of them can be a cause for vibration, and there's no reason to just start buying parts and throwing them at your car and hope that it gets fixed when there are free methods you can do and things you can try to narrow down the problem. Make sure you're not wasting your money. I'm going to get into all that and the Miata swap kit itself and a whole bunch of things in this video, but for now let's take a look at the parts that I'm going to be swapping out of and into the Miata. This bad boy just came FedEx today and I am very excited. The shaft that's closer to me is the style that's been in the car since day one. This is the end that hooks up to the differential. It's got a standard super high quality U-joint on it. At the other end, it's got another U-joint that hooks up to an adapter plate. This is what adapts the driveshaft flange to the transmission itself. So you got a transmission flange, this bolts to that flange, and then the driveshaft bolts to that. And then in the center, you have what's called a slip yoke. It slips, and that serves a couple purposes. One is you can offer one drive shaft with the kit that works with several different transmission and differential options because the shaft is adjustable length. And another application this is used in a car that has solid rear end suspension where the transmission and the differential actually move farther apart and closer to each other, and you have to have that slip in the drive shaft. Now on the Miata, that's not the case. The transmission and differential are fixed to the chassis and they do not get farther apart or closer together, except for a tiny little bit of movement due to the rubber mounts. Now from all the research and measurements that I've done, I believe the problem is in this slip yoke right here. You're not going to be able to see it on camera, but there's a certain amount of play inside the splines of this yoke where the shaft can move a little bit, and it is a tiny amount, but there is play there. And when this shaft gets up to speed, which a drive shaft in a Miata can get upwards of 8,000 to 9,000 RPM, the drive shaft was getting out of whack right in this area, and I verified that by putting cameras underneath the car and looking at slow motion clips of how the shaft was changing. Like I said, I've put a ton of work into trying to solve this problem. I've actually had 5 different drive shafts in the car, including ones that I just brought my car to an independent shop and said, hey, can you make me a drive shaft for this car? They built it, the same style of the ones that come with the Miata kit, and they're like, we don't know why this isn't working. This is a shaft style that we put into all different kinds of cars. You're not spinning it excessively fast. You're not operating with extreme angles. But that's part of the reason why this is so puzzling, is because not all the cars are affected by it. And I think it might have something to do with the tolerance of those splines. Maybe some shafts have more than others. Maybe some are just balanced better, which is kind of hard to believe because I've had all these things balanced. But anyways, I'll get into all that stuff later and everything I've tried and everything you should try if you're having a problem similar to this, whether you have this transmission swap kit in your car or not. Just if you're having any kind of vibration, I'll get into all that stuff later, but let's take a look at the new shaft system that's going into the Miata. The differential end is exactly the same. There is a U-joint there. There is an adapter plate that goes on the back of the transmission. Obviously it looks very similar there, a little bit different design, but it serves the same purpose. And then at the front of the shaft, this is the big difference. It's a CV shaft, or a continuously variable joint or something like that, I think is what that stands for. And there's no slip yoke at all, and I think this is what's going to eliminate the problem. The CV itself does have some play in and out. It's got enough to where you can get the shaft installed, but it eliminates the whole slip yoke design, and I think that's really going to be the key to fixing my Miata. Now, I'm losing daylight very fast, so I'm just gonna go in and knock this out. It's literally just a couple bolts, but once I get it changed, I'm gonna take the car out and just really cross my fingers that this is gonna solve it, because I've been chasing this for a long time, and the car is gonna be normal again if it's fixed, and I can really continue with the build. It's light again. Of course, something, as always, has gone wrong with the install, so I couldn't finish it up last night. Check this out. It's nothing major. This is the new adapter, right? And this is the CV. You can see the CV's got a little dome right here, and that dome goes into this recessed part of the adapter. It goes like this. Now, let's see what happens when I put this onto the transmission. Now, come under the car. There's the transmission output shaft and flange. I put that on, that is trouble. You can see the output shaft actually goes all the way through the adapter, and it gets in the way of where the CV needs to bolt to the adapter. So I have to cut off that much of the transmission output shaft in order for this system to work. I just need to leave enough on there to where the adapter is able to center, but this part is just excess, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off, and we will continue. So now you're asking yourselves, what kind of heavy-duty equipment is preferred for efficiently cutting through hardened steel transmission shafts? Hey, haven't you ever heard? It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. Don't even ask me how I was able to get a shot at that angle with that lighting underneath the car making that cut. I'm not even gonna attempt that again. Not gonna lie, the Dremel made pretty short work of that thing. Just goes to show you should never underestimate the power of a small tool. Now with the adapter on there, the output shaft is pretty much flush, and it's time to get this CV shaft bolted up. Okay, the new drive shaft is now installed. There's the front that's coming off the transmission. There's the CV joint. And there's the whole shaft there. And then hooks up at the back, just like stock, right at the differential. Not really anything too special, just wanted to show you guys what it looks like installed. Now, I'm super excited to go drive this thing. You guys don't even know, you don't even know. I've been battling this for over a year, well over a year on this car. And there's a chance that it is, oh look at that, that's beautiful. There's a chance that it is finally solved. Okay, we'll get into details later. I just gotta go drive this thing. I'm super excited. We're going to the track this weekend, son. Come on, E85 cold start. Oh, perfect. Psych, I gotta move the X5 before I can get the Miata out. Okay, come on, actual E85 cold start. And by cold, I mean San Diego cold, which is 67 degrees in the middle of October in the middle of the night. Anyway, oh crap! No, my LEDs went out. Okay, let's get the show on the road. Listen to that belt squeal. That means she's healthy, boys. Of course, I didn't bring my camera mount. Alright, what you guys are hopefully gonna witness here is the first time I've been able to go over normal speed limit freeway speeds with the Miata Trans Kit, vibration free. disappointment is immeasurable, as the problem is not only not fixed, but not even improved. I just don't know what to do. I just do not know what to do. Come on, E85 cold start. Of course, the radio is going to be on full blast when I try to get that clip. Come on, E85 cold start. Oh, perfect. Why would I leave the radio on after I literally just got mad that the radio was on? Oh my God. Can I just get one funny clip